Hello everyone, and welcome to a update on Mega Man Zero/ZX Legacy Collection, covering things that were shown in recent gameplay. The footage is from Capcom TV's live streams they've been doing both today and last week as well. They've been showing off a lot of the game, both the Zero and ZX games, and not to mention Z Chaser mode, which has been the main focus of the live streams. But on top of that, they also showed off a lot of the stuff you can do in the menu options. One of the big things that we have confirmed is how button configuration works. Now in the past there was some concern about the Mega Man Zero games in particular, as we heard from the demos at trade shows that you might be locked to the cross and circle buttons on the PlayStation 4 controller, since all the footage here is from the PlayStation 4 version. So we'll go off that controller scheme. Since the Game Boy Advance only had two face buttons, that meant you had to jump with A and attack with B. On the PlayStation 4 controller, that translates to jumping with circle and firing with the cross button. Which on a modern controller nowadays with 4 face buttons, that might be a bit awkward for some people, especially if you're used to the Mega Man X control scheme. Thankfully, it has now been confirmed that you can in fact play the Mega Man Zero games with whatever control scheme you want to, including the good old Mega Man X style. Just like how it was in the original Game Boy Advance games, the Mega Man Zero games have their own button configuration screen. In that menu, by selecting custom for your controls, you can set the attack and jump buttons to different ones, even buttons that weren't originally supported by the Game Boy Advance. For example, putting fire on square and jump on cross, just like how it is in the Mega Man X games. So yes, you totally can do that. That is now confirmed, and thank God. That was one of my major concerns about this collection, and I'm glad that that has already been addressed. You can play how you want, so that's great to hear. Now, I've already been asked about the L2 and the R2 buttons for dashing and your sub weapon, and honestly, I'm not too sure about that, because none of the footage in this stream has shown the L2 or the R2 button being used. However, I was told by some people that apparently the L2 and the R2 button are not usable in the Legacy Collection, at least on the Zero side of things. Apparently you can only use L1 and R1, which if that's true, that would suck, but again, I cannot 100% confirm that, because again, none of the footage really shows it. Though in a way, I guess you could take the fact that they are not there in the footage as some sort of confirmation. So take that as you will. The truth will be revealed as we get closer to release here and we start getting the game into more people's hands. Besides the button configuration, the Capcom TV crew has also shown us a lot of other menu options, such as the different screen layouts in the Mega Man ZX game. You can do some weird things with the bottom screen as well, like change the transparency and more. Now, as for the big new mode, Z Chaser mode, like we said before, it's pretty much a speedrunning mode where you can race against a friend in local play, or you can download Ghost Data online to race against that. There is a couple new things we have learned from this footage here. One, you can still change your button configuration before you start any Z Chaser match by pressing the options button. It will take you to the Mega Man Zero button configuration screen where you can change it from there. And then, at least in the Japanese version, you press circle to start, but that will probably be changed to cross for the North American version. Another cool thing, however, is that you can actually change the background music in Z Chaser mode. So it seems like the default music is the new Z Chaser music specifically created for this mode that we've heard in the trailer so far. And you'll hear it in this footage as well. But it seems like there is other songs you can change it to, so it'll be interesting to find out what those songs are. The last observation we can make of Z Chaser mode here is that assist mode is definitely activated for this, as if the giant HP bar wasn't already a good indicator of that, because we can see here in the footage that the player does drop into a bed of spikes and he doesn't immediately die, he just takes damage. So that does confirm that assist mode is a default thing in Z Chaser mode, probably to make it so that people don't die all the time if they're less skilled at the game and completely ruin their run, just to help things flow better. Of course, you can still die by taking enough damage, and that will just take you back to the last checkpoint, and the run still goes on. And the boss fights and any other scenes where there is cutscenes, the game actually automatically skips them. You don't see any text boxes at all, so that's pretty good for the speedrun. Otherwise, that's all the new information we could glean from this footage. If you are interested to see all the gameplay footage for yourself, and there is about 25 minutes worth, check it out in the links in the description below. But for more on Mega Man Zero and ZX Legacy Collection, and all things Mega Man, stay tuned to ShadowRockZX. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, rock on and enjoy the gameplay.